election could be the last stand, hate slash blow. From Zimbabwe to Glasgow, we need fair elections, and that's so. Bringing your back like lasso, flames still fly, freedom still run. Old and young, heroes unsung, tracing where we come from.
Hey everybody, how's the internet going? We are Jazz Mafia. Welcome to our viewing, listening party. What up, what up? Hey Shayna, I got my audio just dropped out. Oh, there we go.
I can hear you fine.
That was weird.
Hey, everybody.
Woo! How you doing, Trance? Where
Trance
did Trance go?
muted. There you go.
I am still alive.
Right on. I like your background, Shayna. Let's say lock her up.
No. Him.
Oh, good. Just checking. Well, I'm excited to celebrate this album that many of us have been working on nonstop. David, what's up, man? Welcome. It's a late night for you. Sorry, my audio keeps dropping out, y'all. So, Shayna, why don't you take over? I'm going to figure it out.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we just wanted to spend a little bit of time introducing this project. You all saw the video that we made a couple of months ago. Basically, we were sitting ourselves in quarantine, and this historic election was drawing nearer and nearer, and we just didn't feel good about... Basically, we had a lot of feelings that we felt like we needed to express, and time on our hands and amazing friends that would come along with the journey. So we tossed it out to folks, hey, should we do an election album? And the response was really positive, and we just dove in. It was a really short timeline, but everybody that you're going to see and hear tonight are the most top-notch musicians, professionals, and human beings I think that there are on the planet. And so it was a breeze getting all of this music together, and it's incredibly powerful stuff. The tracks would come in, and Adam and I would like huddle around the jam box and listen, and often we're just completely speechless. So we're really happy to bring this out into the world. And then and the whole idea around this was that we're artists at the core, and if we do our jobs, we help people to feel their feelings, or maybe to feel something that we've presented to them. And we wanted to really challenge people to harness those feelings that they feel through our music and do something with it. Right. This is such a crazy time in the world and this country, and there's a lot of actions going on. And we really felt that our part as musicians was to help create energy and then help move that energy into positive change. And so we partnered with all these amazing organizations. Week after week, we did things super untraditionally. I'm not sure if it was a good idea. It was just the idea that we had, and we ran with it. So you'll be hearing a little bit more about that throughout the evening. But it was really powerful, and we forged so many new partnerships and friendships and relationships with people all over the country doing incredible work through this music. So huge gratitude to everybody that said yes. There were so many yeses, and here we are.
Yeah. And an interesting part of the timeline for me was we had decided to do something inspired by this election late in 2019. Then the pandemic hit, and that started shaking things up, and it kept, the priorities kept shifting. And then, as you all remember, the George Floyd uprising happened, and we felt like we needed to lend our voices to that and stand in solidarity. And so it was just like constantly shifting focuses. And once we had a second to breathe after taking action in the George Floyd protests, dedicating music to that struggle, it was like, I don't know, the election is so soon. It would be really hard to put that vision to reality at this point, right? And there was kind of a pause, and many of us, after thinking about it for a second, said, no, let's do it. It's kind of crazy, but we have quite a few songs that actually fit into this story, that what Shayna was just talking about taking action and inspiring people to think about their country and democracy and freedom. And so it was kind of meant to be, even though it was such a crazy path that got us here. And then, like Shayna said, the last 2-3 months, we've just been in high gear, finishing up these last 4 or 5 songs. And someone who's been a huge part of that is Trance Thompson, who's on the call with us right now. And so we're going to have Trance speaking on a couple of the songs that he was a huge part of, because he was one of those very brave, fearless, a little bit crazy people who jumped in with us to make these really ambitious things come to fruition at this last stretch. So I want to give Trance a huge shout out for all the hard work he's done. And we're really excited to share this video that he has been working on. I don't even know how many hours, but I think about how long it takes me to like orchestrate a symphony chart or something. It's probably along those lines. Yeah, what do you have to say about this part of the story, Trance, about when we brought you in, and like, did you think we were insane or what?
Well, I always think you're insane. So I thought you were the same. And you and I talked about this project years ago. When we were first, we were really just talking about doing the. Oh, wait, am I muted? Am I on?
No, you're on.
Okay. I think it's a good idea. I think action is better than bitching. I think inspiration is better than just tearing things down. So, anything we can do that will affect change, I'm all for. And how long does it take to get 35 people to record one song? Let's see. Why not?
We found out.
Yeah, exactly.
Think.
The theme, the see something. I mean, see something, do something. Say something, do something. is really the call that I think we should all be living by. Like, we all see a lot of wrong things, and we just posting about it is not enough. We have to do something. Let's take action. So I think this project to support that theme is just needed, necessary, and we're going to kill it. We've been killing it, I think.
Amen.
We couldn't have done this without you, Trance. So thanks for jumping on the crazy train.
Well, it's COVID. I ain't got crap else to do.
Well, should we let this first track roll?
I'd like to bring on Sola T and Matt Wong, some of the other key collaborators on this one, and just kind of acknowledge them. I think Brian's got them in the waiting room. They were key people in this. Yes, and we're just in. Joe Begale, aka Otis McDonald, is in the building, so we're going to bring him on as well, and we're going to talk about Tunnel Vision, the lead track on the album, and the video we're going to be premiering to you here in just a moment.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot. We're starting off with the video premiere.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, that airplane's pretty loud, huh?
All over the world.
It's not my didgeridoo. What's up, Tommy?
What's up?
Tommy, aka Solati, Alphabet Rockers, Felonious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. I didn't know if it was time to
Alright.
come in or not. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
What?
I was waiting for the 7 minute lull.
Dude, your backdrop.
You like it?
Awesome.
You win. You win.
Wait,
Nah.
what is it?
Joe Miguel on the drums in the background and Matt.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's another COVID thing. It's like who can come up with the craziest background? Well, you win so far. You win today. Although the evening is young.
Word.
How you doing, Joe? You're in your studio, Hyde Street.
Yep. In here doing some work, you know?
I bet you're probably gonna create a few songs like during this whole listening
Yeah,
party.
right.
Like, oh yeah, I got a lot done.
Yeah. Seriously.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. So speaking of crazy, Joe, when I hit you up saying, "Hey, do you got any beats laying around or anything like inspirational that might work for a Jazz Mafia collab song?" I remember it was like, "We need it tomorrow" or something like that. It was something just ridiculous. But the thing is I know that you have delivered under those kinds of crazy deadlines before, so. I was like, I'm just gonna ask him. It can't hurt to ask. I mean, I guess he could piss you off, but
No,
look what it led to.
yeah. It never pisses me off when you ask. I mean, if you don't ask, well, if you don't try, you know,
Right.
then you never know, right? I think that's like what I wrote in my lyrics on the song, actually. Yeah. But yeah, no,
Yeah. Boo-hoo.
I think you hit me up like on a Friday night, and then it was like Saturday afternoon. You were like, "Hey, did you get a chance to do anything?" And I hadn't done anything yet, and my wife was out grocery shopping, and my son was asleep, and I had my laptop, and I was at home. I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna try to make it on the laptop without any of the equipment that I had, because I have some cool virtual instruments." So I started off just making a drum beat real quick, and then laid down some keyboard chords on literally on the laptop, like keyboard, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what letters led to what, but I was just kind of finding the right voicings, and then I literally played the bass line in that way, and sent it off to you within an hour, and then you hit me back. I think you had sent it to Tommy, and y'all hit me back and were like, "It's great, we're gonna go with this," and then I took it to the studio and actually replaced the bass with some nicer sounding instruments, and then it took off from there, basically. And passing it off to Trance, and passed it back to me.
Lots of passing.
Yeah, lots of passing.
Yeah,
Like,
we've done some pretty large scale collaborations before, Joe. You and I, and Trance has been involved in some of those, and Solati's been. So we've done this before. This isn't totally brand new.
No,
But the thing that was the most unique about this one, sorry, my camera is dropping out, I think. Whatever. You can hear me, right?
we can see you too.
Oh, cool. The thing that was most unique about this one is the way that how many writers were on it. We've done things where there was up to like 5 or 6 writers, probably 7 writers, but having over 25 people writing their parts is definitely a new challenge. And so I think the people I wanted to ask about was Solati and Trance. You both kind of approached that in different ways. So it's COVID, we're in different places, we have a short amount of time. How do we get all these people to write different parts, 24 different vocalists? How do we get them to write parts that have some continuity and fit together in some ways? So Solati, you were kind of the first one to take a crack at it. So how did that work for you, or what were some of your struggles with that, or whatever?
Well, my first struggle was Joe's first struggle when you were like, "Hey, you got something yet?" And I'm all, dang, I slept, but yeah, I'm gonna get this. And so, like, when I went in, it was really just about I heard like a plethora of hooks, and so I was like, "Geez, man, this beat is so like whatever. Let's I can go here, I can go there." When you said something about light in the tunnel, like I was like, let's go with that. And I wound up just creating a bunch of stuff, but then I had to like really put a call out to MCs and kind of manage bringing them into it. None of us ever heard any of it. I think the most, I think the dopest part for me in this whole process was that like I've collaborated with people that I haven't even formally met yet, and it's been actually multiple times over the summer with y'all, and it's dope because there's a trust and there's a familiarity that is what it is. It's unspoken, whatever Jazz Mafia ethos, whatever's in it, is just all through it all. And so I, can't wait to shake hands or hug with folks that I've collaborated with that I haven't met. But that's the treasure of the squad, you know what I mean? Like, or the notion of squad. Like everybody's like, this is squad, let's go in. There's a lot of people I know as well. But yeah, the only challenging part was just not being able to be with people. But that didn't seem to stop us this time either, which was cool. It wasn't even on the forefront. It was on the back end.
Yeah. So you got it. You kind of got this started sending it out to a few of the MCs, and you were making demos, and you're kind of trying to do it in a way, probably how I would have done it, which is not just sending it out to the everyone you want to have collaborate on it, but doing it with like one person getting a little bit recorded, then sending it to the next person and getting, so they could kind of hear each other a little bit. And but it was like, there's no way this is going to work because it's going to take too long. And Trance, I think, if I'm right, he was aware of this, and I think he was the one that was just like, screw it, I'm just going to send it to 20 people and just tell them like a couple sentences of inspiration and go. So is that what happened, Trance?
Yeah, well, my recollection is I thought we were doing two different songs. Initially, we were going to do like a part 1 and part 2. Like,
oh, yeah, you're right.
The version. And then I was like, well, we have a lot of vocal beasts in our group. Let's ask them to do like a separate version, and we'll just make Joe do a separate remix. And then we got such positive feedback from people wanting to be involved. We were like, all right, let's combine them once we started hearing tracks back. For me, what I did was I sent people a theme about the light at the end of the tunnel, and just told them, write whatever you feel, but you only get 8 counts. And of course we have some greedy ass friends. So
Everyone has a lot to say on this subject.
Some people wrote 16, some people wrote 32.
No, they were counting it like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
but
I felt hella silly telling rappers, I just need 2 bars from you.
Right?
Yeah, that was
but it worked out. And then I kind of, once I told them the only deal was you had to write your own self, you had to record your own self, and do your own backgrounds. And then once I got them back, we put them together thematically where they fit lyrically and melodically, so they would have a flow. It wouldn't feel disjointed. And I think they nailed that. We nailed that part. It sounds like we were in the room together writing this awesome piece. And then we sent it to Matt.
Yeah, Matt. So what was your approach? You wrote your orchestrations without hearing much at all. I think you just heard Solati and Trance's hooks.
Not even Solati's. Like I'm pretty sure I only got Trance's hook, and I wasn't even sure like where in the song or like where in the beat it was supposed to be placed. So I kind of guessed the placement, and that's I think things were edited around a little bit, but it was just really cool for me because obviously like Joe, I mean, to tell a little bit of the story, like Joe is a lot of how I got into playing, music and playing this kind of music, especially. So, always love hearing, what you're working on. And so it was really cool just to sort of randomly get this thing to the theme and everything. I don't even think I was thinking about the theme specifically at that point. But just like, yeah, man, it's just cool to hear my friends like making new music and hear what they're working on in a context that wasn't specifically like, oh, I'm releasing new music. It was sort of more in its formative stages. So it was cool to experience that and get to see that because I think we're doing that all the time when we're playing with each other. So you know, it's definitely, that's one of the things about, you know, live gigs that I really miss, is like sort of being able to play with ideas and being able to listen to each other in real time and be able to play with those things. So yeah, it was just, I think that for me it was just really exciting to hear, even though I didn't know specifically what it was all going to be. It was just like, okay, cool, this is where people are at. And I think in terms of, you know, the actual writing, the arranging side of things, I was really, you know, the chord changes, you know, I'm like, what Solity was saying earlier about, like, you know, how there is sort of, I could hear it going in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? The chord changes specifically are, you know, you can do a lot with them. I mean, they're really catchy changes. They're really fun to write over. But with that, you know, you kind of have to pick a direction and stick with that. And that's sort of where, sort of thinking about this idea of like a light at the end of the tunnel, where I really did start to think about, like, like, okay, what is this going to mean? What is this all about? And really trying to get that sort of uplifting spirit and trying to capture that. And the other thing that was kind of interesting, that I would say is specifically pretty new, is the fact that, like, you know, I'm sending charts and I don't know how it's going to be performed. Like, I have no control whatsoever. And I think as an arranger, that's something you're always striving to be able to, you know, communicate as much as possible on the page, you know, just by what you write. But then for that to really have to stand for itself, I think it took like a second to be like, okay, how do I want to, what musically is going to be the clearest thing? And yeah, I don't know. And then eventually to hear it, you know, the whole thing put together, it's just, it just feels like the whole family just coming back together again. I don't know. It really enjoyed it, and to hear the process of sort of how it started and how it ended up was just incredible. So
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, it is. It's uplifting. Everybody's contributions were uplifting in their own ways, and
yeah,
and you know, to think that orchestration can support that, you know, I mean, that's something we should all be always, you know, putting forward.
Right. I heard you added some parts too. That was just like, oh, this is great. This is
yeah.
this is
Once
what
we
I
got
need
all
to do.
4 verses in there, it was like, okay, well, what can we do? And so that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say to wrap this up is once it went through all of our hands. You know, I was tweaking things all along the way, and Trance was. It went back to Joe, who started it on his laptop, like playing keyboards on the little letters on his keyboard on his laptop, and then Joe really went back and basically like reproduced the whole thing. I mean, it was a like starting over almost, because there was so much new material and all that, and so like he reshaped.
Came back slapping.
Yeah, all new music for one of the verses and all that, and so I mean, it's collaboration at just such high levels. I mean, I do wish we could have been in the studio and all that, but there is sort of a slow motion way of working this way where you can come up with things you wouldn't normally come up with, but also working really fast too.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Joe, was there anything, any words on the last part of it for you that was memorable or stood out or whatever?
That was the most exciting part for me. I mean, because you know, originally, if you recall, like I was skeptical of the whole idea with like 24 vocalists. I was like, y'all are fucking crazy. I'm trying to do this, you know. And you sent me back the demo, and I was just like, okay, there's a lot going on here. And but you know, we decided to go through with it. And when you sent it back, I was just like, okay, you know, I was able to be in this environment and just start pulling things apart. And the very first thing I heard before I got all the vocals in there was all these string and horn parts that you guys did, and that stuff like was knocking me off my ass. I was just like, holy shit, all right, this is cool. And then to sit back, and then there was like this one moment at the end of the second verse where Trance takes us into the chorus, and he added in these, you know, kind of gospel chord changes and sent me the MIDI part to it that he had done, and I was able to throw it on a piano and then actually apply it to a bunch of different instruments. I was like, all right, this is really cool. And then we were all talking about, we didn't want it to feel the same exact way in the rap section. So I was downstairs making some tea or something, and then I thought, oh, what if I take those chord changes that Trance had laid down, and we just kind of moved the rhythm of them a little bit. And so I ran back upstairs, and I just did it on that very first rapper's verse. And as soon as I played it back, I was like, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh shit, all right,
Yes.
here we go. You know, we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And there was something about the end of the chorus when you heard everybody say, yeah. And when I
Oh my
heard it
God.
going over the rap, I was like, oh, that's cool. And it was kind of reminded me of like an old Talib Kweli record or something. And so I just chopped the yaz up and started applying them in different spots. And then I was like, well, what if I take some of Matt's orchestrations and start sprinkling that in? And then I was just like, okay, now I'm like jumping up and down in the studio. I'm having all sorts of fun. And I fight myself because I can't be in here with anybody else, you know. So I'm just like, oops, you know, doing that kind of shit.
Yes, that's so cool to hear. We got to just make sure you like film yourself next time we put you in that crazy situation.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually always am filming myself in here.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's one of the sorry, just to add, that's like one of the benefits of the fact that we're all like familiar with each other's styles. Like trance, I could totally, you know, everything sort of all fit together. And Joe, like knowing that that's how you work is you sort of take things and you know you place them in very musically happening spots. Like I it's definitely influenced like when I was you know writing the arrangement, like like what are some little moments that you can sort of pick out and sort of place in different places. So yeah, that was a joy to hear.
Oh man, it was a joy to work on. You guys are all just like Shayna said earlier on in the stream, like, you know, top level in the world. It's a true honor to make music with y'all.
Go team.
Indeed.
So I would
What's
just
up with this video?
with the video. I would say we took the same process we did for vocals, and then we told them to film themselves. You know, I was very clear. I made a demo instruction video. I'm like, do this thing that I'm telling you this way. And then I got the first back from Solati, and he was standing on the roof. And I said, yeah, can you please just read the email one more time and go to the street? And so we got all our friends filming in the streets of various parts of the country.
It worked.
And we got our collaborator, Ollie Riley Smith, who was a dope director, editor. He co-directed this video with me. And we edited it all together. And it is truly magical. You're going to be blown away. I'm sure of it.
I mean,
Yes.
but
I'm excited.
What'd you say, Shay?
they might not be blown away. I think the only other thing to say is that nobody else has seen it, right? Except for Trans, myself, and Adam. So all these folks that literally
excited.
made this haven't even seen it. So I don't know. I think we talked about it a good amount.
All right.
Literally.
Car wash. You know what to do, car wash.
On YouTube to see it.
So I think about where we are now, and I think at the very least, the American people have light at the end of the tunnel.
The only way to get through is to go through. That's all we can do, 'cause there's no turning back. We gotta stay on track till we get to the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the end of the struggle. We're gonna be alright. I see the light, yeah.
Had kids, your partner and your white picket. Good living with a vision is specific. Divine state of mind and a fine place to visit.
So far, yet still looks far away, but each and every day we keep pushing to make change. Oh, don't be muddled, befuddled, or disrupted by distraction. Maintain mission, motive, and passion.
Objects appear closer. Guapa Lake it to the cake, I'll never need a chauffeur. Self-drive to 10 and 2, please don't make me exposure. Made slaves out of metaphors, we built another building when they bolt the door.
It makes you wonder why we be getting so metaphor. Deep love for the people, hope at the core. Whatever we can imagine, it's really up to us to manifest and manage, then repair the damage, damn it.
Keep rapping races cause you know this is a marathon. But short-term memories, it goes like puffin' marijuana. Test the mental health, rest and use your breath. Essential right mind, start right before you like to like.
Panther programs, local slow jams, parks and positives, sparks and politics. Through all the struggles and decisions we can understand. No need for medals or no ribbons, just defeat the man.
It's a light at the end of the tunnel. Choose to knuckle through, don't buckle. Just follow the light, just follow the light. Meet me on the other side, there we go. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. Choose to knuckle through, don't buckle. Just follow the light, see you on the other side.
Well, I guess it takes a deadly disease from overseas and stolen breath from a knee on the neck like death. I can't be here no more. Got my bags back full with my passport sitting right at the door.
I got the bigger picture on my mind, and I know I'll get through it.
This time is a choice, but you will lose your voice.
Why do we cry about those who lost their way? You can see the light, maybe you can help them find their way.
Put your hands in mine, you won't walk alone. Our hearts are strong. Eyes ahead and carry on.
The only way to get through is to go through. That's all we can do. There's no turning back. We gotta stay on track till we get to the light. At the end of the tunnel, I see the end of the struggle. We're gonna be alright. I see the light. I see the light. Yeah.
There goes the light, I see the light. Move towards the light at the end of the tunnel. Look up ahead, get out your head. It through its head to the end of the tunnel. There goes the light, I see the light. Move towards the light at the end of the tunnel. Look up ahead, get out your head. Get through its head to the end of the struggle.
We can't leave the country, no way, but it's close like Sunday. But watch me, I'm amazing. Oh, I guess I'll stay and teach these children. Unpack with heads up so tight, but they're blessing me.
Keep your chin up, you are not alone.
Let me the good kind of trouble.
Only way to get through is to go. There goes the light.
It's true.
Ooh. Welcome back, everybody. That was the world premiere of Tunnel Vision. Otis McDonald, aka Joe Begale, Trance Thompson, Sola T, Matt Wong, edited by Ollie Riley Smith, who's in the chat. What's up, Ollie? We're gonna have him on in a little bit because he also edited "You Haven't Done Nothing," our epic video. So I figured that would be a good one to have Ollie talk about. And we're on to the second song of the Say Something, Do Something album that we're celebrating and doing this sneak preview for. The second song is Katie Steffens' Oh Say, and I'm going to turn it over to Shayna and John Tuba to fill you in on this one.
Yay, we have the actual grand tuba in the house. So I think that we should start with you. I think like immediately when we heard this song, it was like, oh, we're going to go symphonic with this. And so got John involved and what was your process when you first heard it? Tubes?
Yeah, first thing, you know, when I first heard the song, it was kind of like, well, it sounds great on its own. She did such a good job with, you know, her piano arrangement and the vocal line is is just so well constructed. You know, it when I first heard it, I was like, well, this doesn't really need anything. So how can we just not screw this up? You know, the purity of what Katie created on her own. So it was just a matter of like finding places to just subtly add a little bit of, you know, sort of to carry us into certain emotional moments and carry us out, and you know, how to be like the sort of warm blanket around, you know, or the fresh warm tortilla around the innards, the delicious, you know, carne asada of Katie Steffens' music. You know?
She would love that. She would love that. Wow.
Yeah, Katie wrote it. It's just such a stunning song. If you haven't heard it already, you'll get to in a moment. But it's one of those pieces of music that just took my breath away. And I remember playing it for a couple of friends, and I mean, just it hits you so deeply, and it's equal parts really a lot of despair and a lot of hope. And so when I did the strings, I was just kind of trying to ride that line between despair and hope. And turns out they hang out like right next to each other, even though they're sort of polar opposites. So that's all I really wanted to say. Oh, so when we presented these singles weekly, we were partnering with these organizations, and also an amazing series of very short educational films that W. Kamau Bell did. So for OSE, we partnered. It was like 1 week before the census was due that we released this song, and so we partnered with Fair Count, that was doing amazing work all over the country, making sure that everybody got counted, trying to undo gerrymandering and get everybody's voice heard. So we partnered with them for this release, and they shared the music. And then we also presented or reposted this video that W. Kamau Bell did all about the census and the importance of that. So shout out to those guys. Thanks for partnering with us. It felt really good to be able to, you know, channel this energy into action and to share that with our folks. So
yeah,
that's all I have to say about that. Did you add anything else, either of you?
Just beautiful job on the wrapping the innards in that warm tortilla of brass and strings, as John said. I'm so proud of what y'all did, and it was actually really beautiful to not be a part of this and get to really enjoy it from a spectator point of view. So thanks for just running with it. So here it is, Katie Steffens' OSE with string arrangement and recording by Shayna Evanek, and brass by John Tuba and Leah Kunert on trumpet as well.
Oh, say, can you see through the wildfire smoke and the haze? Can you still hear your brother say, I can't breathe? By the dawn's early light, a child wakes up in a cage. Are you proud? Tears streaming down in broad stripes, she looks up at bright stars and dreams of a better life. Tear the ramparts down. It's twilight now, and the rocket launching fully automatic high capacity magazine. How many rounds do you need to stand against tyranny? How many? Oh, say, does that star-spangled to be who we said we'd be. If you're still brave, oh please say.
Hello, everybody, music lovers from near and far. Welcome back to the listening party for the Say Something, Do Something album that officially comes out tomorrow. We're playing it all for you tonight. We premiered a new video for you, and we're going to be joined by many more guests. I had my friend John Tuba, who was involved in the last song. He's also on this next song, so he's going to be here with us. And we're going to bring back Sola T, Tommy Shepard, because he's featured on this next song, the third song of the album, which is Not My President.
Not My President.
There he is. Oh, man. Yes, just showing that shirt off. This song has an interesting past. It was written when in 2016, right after that election, and I say it could be about any president that you prefer to think about. The music has that freedom. But the one thing I wanted to mention was we were planning on recording this. We did a video of it, live video, out on the Alameda Airstrip. The audio is a little tricky. It's just a couple little microphones, and so we wanted to record this legit style with studio quality audio and all that. So with the pandemic going on, all that, we were going to do an outdoor recording session here at the compound. If you've seen our Tuesday night live streams, it would be out there. There's plenty of room, and we run cables to the studio. And of course, the night we were going to do that was big fires and smoke happening. So we ended up having to scrap that idea, and we still made it happen though. We just did it with a much smaller crew, with Darian Gray recording the drum part at his house. It was Darian here with John Tuba here. We did a tiny recording session, and then everything else was overdubbed by Rich Armstrong, myself, and Sola T. And so, Sola T, since you're here, I thought it'd be cool to just have you tell the folks a little bit about your rap on this, and then we'll rock the tune.
Sure. Can I take you back for a second?
Sure.
To Moody's Jazz Camp.
Oh, wow.
I remember you playing it there, and I think I freestyled over it, or I think maybe little Tommy actually did a verse over it or something like that. That's what I recall. And I remember it then, and then when you asked me to rock it and with that video, that 360 joint, it was pretty cool because I just had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I was also in the middle of a project that I'm doing with Antique Naked Soul, and I was thinking about drip marketing and stuff like that with the Alphabet Rockers and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna spit this piece from this Antique Naked Soul joint, and because it really supports this track. And so that's how it happened.
Yeah, it's like an Antique Naked Soul remix of sorts.
Yes, I mean it's three. The Antique Naked Soul song is 3 verses long.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned the second and third verse into one.
Sweet, yeah, because it's so fast.
Yeah.
When is that album coming out? The Antique Naked Soul album, and Don't Shoot's on that as well, I think, right?
Yes, which is now
right,
formerly known as
Heat.
Don't Shoot. It's called Heat.
Heat.
Yes, we're actually in the lab right now, really putting the piece together. We had to transfer from it being a theater piece, which was going to be kind of like a choreo poem, video, and actors and dancers, and we turned it into a whole sonic experience. So it's going to be,
old radio
album,
show style,
like a radio show style.
Love it.
Yeah. Like the next thing I have to do with it is go back and Foley it vocally.
Yeah, you gotta film that, man, because that stuff's it's gonna be so cool to see how you created all those sounds.
Word.
Nice. Well, John Tuba, thanks for being a part of this track, laying down the fat tuba. You and Darian Gray on drums. You sound amazing together. Shout out to Rich Armstrong for all his wild trumpets on this one. And gonna have Car Wash take it away. Not My President. Hope you dig it.
We love our country.
Hell yeah.
Respect all people.
Hell yeah.
Do we believe in science?
Hell yeah.
Spread love, not hate.
All day.
Not my president. Not my president. Not my president.
We need water, shit, Babylon is burning. This broken glass, smoke the piss, everywhere returning. No regard, no regret, no respect, no one learning. We on street knowledge, watch your back, we emerging. This clouds of pitch black smoke beginning to strangle. Oh, say, motherfuckers, just see the stars mangled. And global warming's about to take its turn on the planet, and damn it, ain't nobody even concerned. We seek to intent, to holding on to what we earn. Living in oblivion, obviously we never learn. We can have it all, y'all, only if we had the nerve. Operation demolition around the curve, let it swerve, let it burn. Let it swerve, let it swerve. Let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn. Here come the sirens, sirens.
Not my president. Not
All right, everybody, welcome back. That was Not My President, Sola T with a very fast verse. You could check out the lyrics. We have it on the video description on YouTube and all that. We are going to be jumping forward with our next tune, which is Mission from Trance Thompson and the Doom Patrol. This is a band that goes way back in Bay Area history for me, and it was such a special thing to have them involved in this. I'm going to take a quick moment before we jump into that song to give a huge thank you to somebody and an organization that made this album possible by sponsoring it to pay for the recording fees and the mixing fees, to the Chavez Foundation, Tom Chavez, the whole family. This could not have happened without them. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting this and helping us get this word out. So moving forward, Trance Thompson, I'm going to let you take this one over since you are Trance Thompson from Trance Thompson and the Doom Patrol.
Okay. Well, really, we're just a Doom Patrol. That's marketing stuff. That's not ego. So this song, Mission, was actually originally written during the Bush administration. But it was a hip hop song and didn't release it, didn't do anything with it actually. And then this presidency happened and I knew I had to finish it. So I called the fellas, Uriah, Jesse, and Dr. Fu, Ryan Lowe, and asked them if they wanted to reunite the band to rock out on a crazy election themed song. And they all said yes.
When was the last time y'all played? Was it for our friend Hammer's birthday or something?
I think it was at Lacey's wedding, wasn't it? Yeah, 2012.
Wow.
But then before that, it had been 2005, so, or whatever it was.
Serious reunion here then. Really cool.
Yeah, and we all still look good, so it was good. Anyway, so they all said yes. We only had a week to do it. And normally, for a rock band, you want to be in a room and rehearse and come up with riffs. I sent them out a demo of what I was thinking for the sort of rock version of the song. And Jesse always hits back first. He's an overachiever. And he sent back some dope-ass guitar riffs. And then Uriah sent back some keyboard parts. And take it from there, Jesse.
Well, it was a great collaboration. I think most of us have gotten used to some remote tracking at this point, so we were ready. At least I was. And the one challenge that we had was that Dr. Fu did not have a kit set up anywhere that was mic'd, so I ended up going over to his house, masked up, and using his V-drum kit directly into Logic, using actually the same sim drum kit that Trance had programmed the demo. And
so V-drum, for everyone who doesn't know, it's an electronic drum kit. It's really high tech. They're pretty cool, but yeah.
And it has its own sounds in it, but when I plugged it into my laptop, he was able to trigger the sounds that we had that Trance had, the drum tones that he had picked, and it worked really well. And then I was able to send that information back to Trance, and we did some editing, and it just came together really, really great, and without a lot of hiccups, which is rare with Dropbox and, sending stuff back and forth. It worked out pretty well. And then Uriah took all of our footage that we took of ourselves, because that's what we do now. We take footage of ourselves and put together this amazing. He did this amazing edit on the video and just took it to the next level, which really served the song and the vision of the band and the look that we've always gone for too. So it was great.
Yeah, the effects that Uriah did on the video are super cool. Like so adds so much to it, and it fits with the music and the sound and the vibe. Props, Uriah.
It needs to be like a rock band. We want over the top, loud, in your face. There's nothing subtle about this song or the video. Are we playing the video or just the song?
Yeah, the video.
Yeah, we got the video.
Is that okay?
Oh, that's great. I love this video. Not enough people saw it yet. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Shayna.
I'll take over for a quick second. So for this song, we felt like well, I should first back up a step and say I have to give a huge, huge shout out to Colleen, Coco, Courtney, who held my hand every step of the way. I don't know how to partner with organizations, but because she's really nice and really smart and really patient, she really took lead on this, and she did amazing work with me, kind of just like hiding behind her in these meetings and these emails and stuff. So Coco really made all this magic happen with the partnerships with the organizations, as well as with W. Kamau Bell's team. So thank you, Coco, for helping us get this message out. We couldn't have done it without you. So for this song, we all know about Prop 22. Hopefully everybody's already voted. If you haven't voted, you have an opportunity to do the right thing on Tuesday. And the song Mission, we paired with Gig Workers Rising organization and W. Kamau Bell's video about gig workers' rights. And this one strikes really close at home for all of us that used to have gigs and will hopefully have gigs again. And there's sort of this like ugly spin campaign going on, and a lot of confusion around this proposition. Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash have spent over $200 million to make it look like if you vote yes on this proposition, you will be protecting gig workers. Gig workers will not be protected. And neither will their drivers. So a no vote on Prop 22 is what we are giving information out about, and we partnered with Gig Workers Rising, who's just a totally amazing grassroots organization who has a tiny fraction of the amount of money that Uber and DoorDash and Lyft do, but they're doing amazing work, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to make some positive change Tuesday. And I can give you all sorts of resources if you're undecided, or you can go to Jazz Mafia's website and grab the resources that we've shared. That's what I wanted to say about that. Let's roll
And
this.
before you spin it, I just also wanted to give a shout out to our streaming engineer who also mixed this song.
Yeah, Car Wash, Brian Adorama.
He does more things than you even know.
He's the man behind it all, really. He's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, seriously. All right.
Yes.
Still we make it battle every day to survive. Daily struggle, working double while so-called papers turn a blind eye. They don't see us, but wanna be us till they call them to report a crime. They must know they're running out of time. Do you keep working when nobody understands? Do you stop working when breaking you's the only man? You're holding up your hands, but you can never surrender, never surrender. On a mission, demolition. Tear down the walls, yeah. On a mission, demolition. Fools about to fall, fools about to fall. Won't wait in line, won't be denied, won't give in to your suppression. Though you swear that all is fair, we don't care, we're done with your deception. Now the script you're trying to flip, like you're the ones who need to be afraid. Walk in the street and on our knees, you condemn us to an early grave. When so many say we'll fail, stop working. When it seems it's been too long. We've been through so much hell, we can never surrender, never surrender. On a mission, demolition. Tear down the walls, yeah. On a mission, demolition. Fools about to fall, fools about to fall. get people like so dumb. Easy on with you. This pandemonium. Never surrender. On a mission, yeah, a mission. Tear down the walls down. On a mission, yeah, a mission. Fools about to fall. On a mission, demolition. Tear down the walls. On a mission, demolition. Fools about to fall. Fools about to fall. And we will rise. And we will rise. And we will
All right, people, welcome back. Jazz Mafia listening party. Say something, do something. That was Mission by Doom Patrol. Trance, thank you so much for putting that together. I didn't know that it used to be a hip hop tune originally, so I want to hear the demo for that. We'll release that on the box set, okay?
Exactly.
Next up is one of Jazz Mafia's best performing videos of all time. It is our remake of Stevie Wonder's "You Haven't Done Nothing," and nothing. Sorry, my wife always is trying to get me to enunciate properly, so sometimes I just do things like that. Haven't done nothing. Sorry, Stevie. And we have on the chat with us right now, on the video, is Ollie Riley Smith, a longtime friend of ours. He's been a big part of our Burning Man camp, Crossroads. Desert. Ruff, what you got? And
there may be a baby coming in as well, so let me mute.
Oh, nice. Ollie is the video editor extraordinaire for You Haven't Done Nothing, as well as the new Tunnel Vision video that we just played. And so I thought it would be fun to have him talk a little bit about his process, or whatever it was on his end that stood out on this. And hopefully it wasn't just all terror and frustration.
No, it was great to finally get to work with you guys, because obviously we've been friends for so long, and I love all the music and everything, but this is the first time we finally got to kind of collaborate. So how it worked was Trance just called me up pretty late, I think, one night, and he was like, we've got 100 videos in a Dropbox somewhere. Can you make some magic from this? and we figured it out. It was once we figured out the vision, one person on a screen at a time, and then doing split screens for when in certain moments when multiple people are singing. It was pretty simple. And compared to the Tunnel Vision video, this one was all about obviously defiance, and it had a more serious tone and kind of standing up to the man. So we did a kind of black and white color palette on it, and kept it more simple and more kind of right on the beat with the editing. Whereas the first video you guys saw, if you were here, the Tunnel Vision video, that was more joyous, and so we kind of had everyone walking in a forward motion. There's a lot more motion to it, a lot more energy, a lot more kind of uplift. And that was the kind of comparison between the two videos. The trickiest thing with this video, I'd say, was making sure that everyone who filmed themselves was included the right amount of times. We didn't want to kind of miss someone out or offend anyone, because as you'll see in the video, towards the end, we had loads of people who were not part of the band, who were just kind of recording a message over and over again. And I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave anyone out and offend anyone. I think we were good in the end.
That feeling of like waking up in the middle of the night after you've sent the track off, or the video off earlier that day, and realizing, I forgot that one person.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And it was great, and Trance, I think, talked a little earlier about, some of the fun of getting musicians to try and record videos and send them on time. It can be a little bit tricky, but everyone came through on both videos, and it was a real joy just working with you guys.
Right on, man. So you said in Tunnel Vision, or you said that in You Haven't Done Nothing, it was very on the beat. In Tunnel Vision, does it cut not on the beat?
Well, when you look in the choruses, you know, I think there's a bit more kind of offbeat stuff, and you're playing with rhythm a little bit more, you know, like music videos is all about the rhythm, and you know, I DJ as well, so I like a little bit of rhythm. Pretty key to kind of feeling it, you know. In general, in both videos, it was when someone was singing the line, obviously they're on camera, but in the choruses, when you could kind of have multiple videos at multiple times, it was more about feeling the editorial rhythm and trying to ride the wave of the beat a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, in Tunnel Vision, there's more overlap in the vocal phrasing. It's very free, so that I see what you're saying. That's cool. I didn't notice that. Trance, what was it like doing this video compared to Tunnel Vision for you?
Well, I mean, it was certainly easier because there's fewer people, fewer locations, and Ali and I, we are besties. So I mean, so it's easy working with him. He's really quick. He's really musically inclined. They're just wildly different processes, I think. Yeah, they're different. But everybody in that video, in the You Haven't Done Nothing video, these are some really powerful people who have really strong opinions and really strong energy. So, you know, I purposely reached out to people who had that. And the song is timeless. It came out during the Nixon administration originally, and the message still resonates today. It was fun.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park. Such a great team, and you know, props to everybody else who's on this one. It was really the first time that I harnessed technology to do a fully remote thing, just complete abandon for if it was going to be performed live as an ensemble ever. It was like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to have people from all over the West Coast on this track. And that to me was so liberating.
And it really worked. We had like over 60,000 views on this video, which is
wow. Yeah. We're super proud of it. And we got the thumbs up from Stevie on the song. He approved of it. Natalie played it for him. That felt pretty incredible to hear that. So yeah, Shayna, do you have anything to add on this one?
Yeah, we kind of had a reach for the stars moment with this song as well. The ACLU shared it. And that was something that Colleen and I were working on for a while. And it was like, it's probably not going to happen. They're so huge. They're so amazing. They're doing so much work. And they pulled through and they shared it on their Facebook page and they tweeted it. And I mean, that was pretty cool. Pretty amazing. And we paired this song with Asylum Seekers' Rights. They're obviously, the ACLU does so much good work, but the Talk Boring to Me with W. Kamau Bell episode was all around asylum seekers. And I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to the director of that series, Jacob Kornblith. We sat in meetings with him, amazing human. And his partner on those pieces, also Elena Chavez. They just, like, everybody just gave us the thumbs up. Jacob, I think, said, like, look, you're leaning on an open door right now. Like, let's go, let's do this. And so it just felt really good. I feel like we're used to hearing no a lot in the music industry, and all these folks were just like yes, and to, you know, sort of cherry on top it with the ACLU sharing it was really special.
Yes, yeah, that felt incredible. It was right up there with when Questlove retweeted a Jazz Mafia track a long time ago. But I think even just it was such a part of the time that we're in right now that it was like, yeah, couldn't imagine a better partnering. Okay, well, we're going to take it away. You Haven't Done Nothing. Thanks to Trance for his incredible work on producing this song, and to Ollie Riley Smith for the video. This is a team that cannot be stopped. Take it away, Car Wash.
We are amazed but not amused by all the things you say that you do.
So much concern, but not involved with decisions that are made by you.
But we are sick and tired of hearing your song.
As we want the truth and nothing else. Yeah. And we are sick and tired of hearing your song, telling how you're gonna change right from wrong. As if you really wanna hear our news. You haven't
Capture, tapped on camera, click bait, but it still don't matter. Ogling the empathy, the sympathy, hostility, immunity. When you walk free, this hypocrisy is killing me.
Yo, no more fake apologies. Why don't we start changing the policies? This hypocrisy, give me property. Billion acres and some mules do the economy. Defunding the police, seeking democracy.
Everybody sing it with me. Get up and do it. Just get to it.
We would not care to wake up to the nightmare that's becoming real.
With your eyes closed, fighting for survival. Open up a third one. Know you don't deserve guns. We the black persons, tired of the versions, but we bring change to the flames that you burst.
A witness lad who knows a person's back can turn as cold as ice.
We keep looting and burning because we dying to know why folks turn to sleepy eyes, stunting my people's growth. Ain't done nothing, yo. I see how y'all feel about us. Them white tears and up, they cut and drain us.
Tell me how you're gonna change right from wrong. How?
If you really wanna hear our news, you haven't been to nothing. Sing it with me one more again, say.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are doing the Say Something, Do Something listening party. The full album comes out tomorrow. We've been releasing singles for about 3 months now, every week for this record. It's something that we're incredibly proud of. It was inspired by this election. It was also inspired by George Floyd. It was inspired by the pandemic. A lot of things flipped it upside down for everybody this year, and we basically made a bunch of songs about it. And this next one is a heavy hitter. It's a song that was a collaboration that flowed effortlessly, and it features writing by Morea Dickinson, who also is the vocalist on it. She was my partner on this one. Incredible. I don't think she's able to make it today. And we are joined by Paul Hansen, who is featured on the bassoon solo on this track. What's up, Paul?
How you doing there, Adam?
Is that a bassoon in your hand?
You're just glad to be here at both.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, play us a little riff on that, man.
I can't remember the key of the tune, but I guess we're at or something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, this is the acoustic version of it. I have I'm not hooked up at the moment the way we were hooked up, but when you hook it up, incredible things happen in terms of some fun processing. And
yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised to know that that's the instrument that they're hearing soloing. So, you know, it's like when you listen to a rock song, it's like the part where the guitar solo normally, well, it starts with it actually. And then like the kind of 2/3 of the way through the song, this solo comes in. And I think to most people, it sounds like a really cool electric guitar with some effects, but it's a bassoon. So there's your pre-concert lecture for the day. It really is a bassoon.
You do not need to take notes. Yes.
Yeah. And this video is a lyric video. So you can, make sure that you're getting all of Mireya's thoughts clearly and not being misunderstood. And I got to give a shout out to John Monahan for doing some beautiful guitar textural work on this, melodic stuff, and for Curtis Kelly, who just slays the drums. I mean, I sent it to him. He's in LA. We're obviously not in the room or anywhere close, and he sent back like 2 takes, and that was it. It was just incredible. So if you need some drum tracks recorded, I can't recommend Curtis Kelly any higher than that. And same for any reeds. Paul Hansen plays everything. It's a killer sax player too. So, hey, you could get him on your record. What were you just recording with today?
I recorded, it's a protest video that's coming out about the vote by a bunch of people from North Carolina, like Bela Fleck, let's see, Steve Gadd.
Damn.
Leland Sklar. Got a whole bunch of heavy hitters. Jeff Sipe, Jeff Coffin, a whole bunch of people. It's supposed to come out like very soon. And
I bet.
I did another session for somebody else. Becca Stevens' brother named Bill, and to something, I'm not when that's coming out, and I taught some lessons. So this is kind of how it goes these days.
Right on. PaulHansen.com, is that the website?
PaulHansenMusic.com.
PaulHansenMusic.com. He's got all sorts of cool stuff. Last time we were talking, you said you have some instructional or some books coming out. Like
I have a new
soloing.
book called basically, a lot of my things are going to start being translated to other instruments. But as a bassoon player, it's a jazz training for bassoonists, technique for jazz bassoon improvisation, available at Force Music, FORRESTS music.com, the store that my wife and I own. And then I'm doing something with a guitarist named Risto Vichev. He's a big Bulgarian guitar player who lives in the San Jose area. There's some new things that are meant for all instrumentalists. It's really cool stuff that just came out. It's like a jazz etudes. They're really something else. It's on my Facebook page, my personal page, and my other, I guess my fan page, whatever it's called. So
Well, Paul, it's so cool to have you on this. You've been a part of Jazz Mafia as a kind of an orbiting, you were on tour a lot, doing Cirque du Soleil for like 10 years or something?
5 altogether, but I also taught in Ithaca College 1 year, right when you get started, when you're still doing stuff at Bruno's back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So you'd be here, like you'd be on one record and then you'd be gone for a while and we'd have you. So it's just so cool to keep you involved in what we're doing. I'm actually releasing a track you're on in next month from the Western Territory ensemble thing that we did with Matt Wong and Alyssa Rose and all that. So there'll be more from Jazz Mafia and Paul Hansen, I promise. And so I'm going to get this song going. This is Half Fool, dedicated to the fool who's in charge for a couple more days. And this is Mireya Dickinson just blowing it out of the water. Thanks. Enjoy.
He told us that we'd win. Just put our faith in him, 'cause he would never lie. Makes America filled every heart with rage, put children in a cage, and laughed as they cried. The greatest words, their only words, until this genocide. We watch the masses as they're buried in shallow graves. That Rio virus stands before us and trumps this plague. Unwise or fool, carelessly spoken by them. Blood on his hands and in unwise or fool. Carelessly spoken by the tongues of the ones who rule. Empty words, madmen absurd. Blood on his hands and in the lungs that he used as tools. Unwise or fool, we watch the masses as they're buried in shallow graves. Rio virus stands before us and trumps this plague. Unwise or
Welcome back, everybody. Say something, do something, listening party, viewing party, smelling party, tasting party. I mean, what do you got? What are you drinking? What are you tasting? Just water. I forgot to make a drink. Damn it.
Bourbon.
Bourbon. Nice. Classy. Rico, you're probably doing something healthy, right?
I got dinner in the oven, so till that's done, it's all healthy.
Right on. Well, yes, we have in the house Rico Pabon, Ethan Hednotic. We are so lucky to have you all here. You are two of the busiest folks that I know. Rico, the new album that you and Ethan just put out.
Yeah.
Loved it. We listened to it on the way to Tahoe with all the trees driving by.
Dope.
Fire, fire
Yeah.
upon fire upon fire.
Thank you. Yeah, and we all collaborated, a very unlikely surprise collaboration, like so many are these days, on this track that was recorded. This is technically a remix, but it's just a whole new song. The original song that it was coming from was from the new Cosa Nostra Strings record, which Shayna and I and three of our other homies, that record came out in September. And Ethan Hednotic here was mixing many of the tracks on that album, and you even were here recording some of them with us before you moved. And so it just kind of made sense, since Ethan is one of my favorite producers, remix artists, beat makers, all that stuff, to give him the opportunity to do a remix for the remix album we're doing for that group. And this ended up being so perfect for this election-inspired album that we took it off the Cosa Nostra Strings remix record and put it on this, because it's powerful. And so, Ethan, I would turn it over to you just to, take it from where you started off on this when it started out.
Well, yeah, I was mixing, I don't know, some of the record, half of the record or something, and the original Achilles Heel just was like, someone could rap on this the whole way through, and like you could nudge it a little faster, and Busta Rhymes could be on it. You could slow it down, and Ghostface could be on it. It's like anything you could do. It just had a mood to it completely from the get-go. And then I think, Adam, you hit me up about a remix project, and I was like, well, I don't know if I can do much to that track because it sounds like perfect as is, which is always a curse when trying to remix something. But I kind of kept it musically, melodically, pretty much the same. Gutted the drums and just put like a different snap to the pocket of everything, like putting slices in it and re-triggering how every quarter note hit, so that it would trample on the last one and just create a different kind of snap, different slump, and then put some dirty break. I think it's P-Dub. Isn't it P-Dub on the break?
No way.
That's P-Dub.
That's so Jazz Mafia. Like, just keep it in the family.
Yeah, P-Dub. What up?
Last time we said, is P-Dub in the house? He magically showed up. So let's just say it real quick.
Yeah. No, he came to my house and recorded a bunch of breaks, and it being a Jazz Mafia thing, I put P-Dub on there, and then from there it just sounded, grimy and gritty, and I was like, who can rap on this? And I couldn't think of anybody but Rico. So, and we were like almost done with our album, and I think it was like I kept feeding him new beats, and Rico, you're right there, I'll just talk to you, and he kept coming with it. Like, as soon as I would give you something, you'd knock it down. And I remember, I know, I was hit by the early pandemic, like everybody was, and felt like I needed to get something off my chest, and just texted Rico and was like, let's make something. And I think I was like also full of rage about everything that was going down at that moment, but I felt like I needed a breath of fresh air. And without, without talking too much about it, I slid him like maybe 2 or 3 beats, or maybe just one, but Rico took our conversation and started off the song from there. That's a song called Fly. And he did it in like a day. And like the next day, it was after he sent it to me, it was mixed and it was out by the 3rd day of the pandemic. So I knew if you needed the remix quick, which I probably assume you might have at that point, I was like, call Rico. And I'll hand it off to you, Rico.
A hitman for hire.
Yeah.
I won't. By the time it got to me, that whatever you did, Head Nod, where you said it gave it a different snap, my head just was nodding right away. No pun intended, literally.
Yeah, it was bouncing.
Man, and I just I said out loud, this sounds like the circus is coming to town, but the wheels are wobbly and the clown is driving. It was the first thing that came to my mind. So I wish I could go, deeper, but that was the whole inspiration. And so it wasn't a far jump to go from clown to the president we have right now. Except of course for the enormous difference that we shouldn't be laughing at this fool. And so that's what I wanted to do with the lyrics is like, less, wasn't so much like, let me poke fun. It was more like, remember that the clown traditionally is just meant to sort of distract you while folks are getting ready in the back, sort of behind the curtains to do the bigger acts and whatnot. And so I wanted to, with the lyrics, just kind of point those things out as opposed to like poke fun, because really, not a laughing matter.
Yeah.
So that's what it was with the lyrics.
I'll throw in just in the end there, like after hearing it, I was like, oh, we need to throw Woody Woodpecker in the chorus. And not to add levity or, make it humorous, but it felt bizarre and like not reality. It felt like this weird, chaotic, like this circus, but like that, like the scary clown aspect. And once Woody Woodpecker was in there, I wasn't laughing. I was like, ugh, I felt like my blood boiling, and I felt like it was a perfect reflection of how ludicrous this 4 years has been. So yeah.
Well said. Well said. Enrico, your son in the clutch. I mean, talk about last minute, right? The whole thing was so fast. And then at the very end, it was like, oh, it'd be so cool to do a lyric video for this. Because, I mean, the lyrics are just incredible, just to read them by themselves. And so how did this happen that your son did this video?
All three of my children. So my son is 14. He's my eldest. We've raised them from the womb to be socially aware. So, you know, they've been knowing about, we all freaked out together when the election results were coming in as a family, and collectively kind of regrouped and decided that we were just going to keep on doing what we always do, which is fight, and that our ancestors have been fighting. So we were going to keep on fighting. So my son jumped right in. He's already passionate about filmmaking and music and all kind of things. So he just jumped right in and honestly just whipped that thing. I say whipped it together, but you know, he put in a lot of hours over the short couple of days. And, you know, honestly, he did it with joy, but he said, Bobby, I should get paid for this one thing here. In order to animate the Trump, he had an actual picture of Trump, and he just had to zoom in really close, and he sort of, in a sense, traced it. And so he felt like just looking at the detail of that face. He was like, it's traumatizing. I think I let him stay up late that night and like watch a comedy. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
But yeah, and we love the way it came out, you know. So he's 14 out. He's just starting, and I can't imagine where he's going to go from here.
Yeah, so when you all are watching this, just imagine Rico's son having to carefully trace Trump's face. You're watching the fruits of his hard labor. We get to enjoy it and, you know, experience this art from it. But it's really powerful. It's one of my favorite collaborations I've ever been a part of. So thank you guys for all the work you did on this. I'm going to turn it over to Shayna really quick, and then we're going to roll the clown.
I'm like, I don't have words. I'm feeling so guilty that your son had to look at that stupid face for so long. If I had known that, I don't know, I would have maybe wanted to do something different. I'm so sorry. Moving on. Obviously, one of the really messed up things that have happened these past 4 years is the continuation of the wealth divide and this administration's lack of awareness for people that aren't billionaires and support for them. So we put this song with awareness around homelessness. And there was a national campaign, and there was also a local campaign with Western Regional Advocacy Project. And they're on the corner of 16th and Valencia, and they do incredible work. The campaign that they have running, one of the main campaigns that they have running, first of all, if you want to know what's going on, like up-to-date information about, you know, an encampment in Oakland that you saw getting swept away and where are these people, go to this website, go to the Western Regional Advocacy Project website. They have up-to-date information about what the heck is going on, and they really get in there and they report on things that the whatever media isn't really reporting on. They're telling you the truth of what's going on. Anyway, they're doing a big thing around house keys, not handcuffs. That's what they've been doing for a while. And then recently, this is also sort of morphed into house keys, not sweeps. So they're really wonderful people locally to support. And if you want more information, we paired this with W. Kamau Bell's video about homelessness in America. It's like a 4-minute video, and it just breaks everything down so quickly. So if you do not understand why we are where we are, watch this video. It's up on YouTube. It's on Jazz Mafia stuff. And enjoy the clown.
Take it away, Brian.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather round. The circus is coming back to town. Pack a lunch, I have a feeling this is gonna be a long one. The wagon is almost here, wheels wobbly, ready to fall off at any moment. And of course, as always, the clown is driving. Let me drop my 2 cents on this madness, direct from the state of panic. Bandanas and sanitizers won't do nothing against this virus, trying to wipe us off the planet. God damn it, it's mad contagious. Been plaguing us since the ages of earliest civilizations. Ingrained in the brain, amazingly hard to contain or erase it. The infection causes hatred and blindness to the plight of darker people. Man, it's basic. Depleted human kindness is the basis of how we define a racist. Look at the pigs who walk like humans, but their blood is cold as night air. They hunt in packs, killers trained and strapped, they never fight fair. Strangle a man for nothing, give the camera that dead eye glare. Animals on hind legs like a circus in a nightmare. Except when you open your eyes, surprised the clown is standing right there. In the White House, spewing lights out, got the planet feeling quite scared. A psychopathic ringmaster, orange skin and toupee. But the danger's in the groupies who do whatever the fucking dudes say. Who let the clown take the wheel? Disaster's coming faster, man, it's getting real. I let the clown expect the circus. Clown is the distraction, the actions behind the curtains. Who let the clown be the driver? It's been the Wild West, but now this shit is getting wilder. I let the clown expect the circus. I let the clown expect the circus. Now, why's the sound this clown make when he open up his gullet? Like a battle cry for bigots with automatics and mullets. Like strange to dangerous puppets, the white supremacists love it. Policemen with grudges encouraged to murder us right in public. Rest of us hear his voice like the sound of the 7 trumpets of revelation. Cancer to human civilization, a threat to more than the nation. But people ran out of patience, we got tired of waiting. We set fires to the station, ain't no fear, it's just frustration. Cause this younger generation are fighting for their lives, it ain't up for negotiation. They ain't with the discrimination of this racist administration, so they ready for confrontation if it means total transformation. Cause every year increases, more innocent people slain or in chains, and so they deaths ain't in vain. We keep saying their names, blocking the lanes, shaking up things, blazing the flames, till the powers that be recognize we ain't playing no games. Crooked cops up to the top, clown elected. The people want change and respect and ain't gonna request it. After so long with knees on our necks, what you expected? It been like 400 years, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, goddamn. Who let the clown take the wheel? Disaster's coming faster, man, it's getting real. I let the clown expect the circus. Clown is the distraction, the actions behind the curtains. Who let the clown be the driver? It's been the Wild West, but now this shit is getting wilder. I let the clown expect the circus. I let the clown expect the circus.
Welcome back to Say Something, Do Something Listening Extravaganza. Gonna turn it over to Shayna E to fill you in with all the details on this next jam from the new album that comes out tomorrow.
I'm so lucky to have my sisters in creation here. We have Erin Lady Fingers, a beat maker, producer, DJ extraordinaire, and the one and only Dakini Star, femc lyricist, slam poet. What else? So many other things. And this is a track that we made, just the three of us. Erin and I were getting together weekly before it was disallowed, just making stuff. And when this album popped up, we were like, hey, let's finish that one track. Let's get Dakini on it. And the rest of us history. This is really about women power. That's all I'm going to say. Then I'm going to let y'all say the rest. This is our moment.
Truly. Oh yeah, like Shayna said, this is all about pussy power. That's what the song is about. It's about the struggle to get here, the struggle we still have, and the struggle moving forward. And what was really fun about this was making beats for me is usually such a solo pursuit. But this time, Shayna and I sat in my studio and made this beat together step by step by step. You know, she had some great ideas. She had a beat inspiration. She threw it at me, and then we got rocking. And it was really fun for me to work with a musician, a trained musician, and then a DJ producer. And then we throw it to Kini, and my God, talk about icing on the cake. And, you know, this song, we really just wanted to build it up and break it down and really show the duality of femininity. Being beautiful and demure like society maybe wants us to be, but also guess what? We have rage. And that's also beautiful, and that's also feminine.
Well said.
Iron-jawed angels. Mic drop.
2020.
2020.
Yeah. So when these ladies, these fierce ladies, we collaborate all the time in all different ways. We've got our Femme Deadly Venoms project that we've got Shayna on. We got an album coming out. And then also we all collaborate with Jazz Mafia. We are, you know, in that collaboration pocket. So these two ladies sent me this track, and I started to write to it. And then we kind of, you know, gave it some space, some time. And then I think it was like 10 days before the deadline, and Shayna hit us up and was like, hey, I think we need to put this album or this song on this album. And, you know, are you guys down for this? Can we make this happen on this deadline? And I was so all about it. I was like, yes, but I knew I was going to have to rewrite the whole thing with the, you know, premise of what Aaron just talked about, the sort of past, present, future, you know, journey of women and the women's journey for a voice and freedom and choice. So I knew it was going to be like definitely a challenge, but I was so up for the challenge, and I knew, you know, in my musical soul that it was a voice that needed to be present for this particular project. So the name of the song, Iron Jawed Angels, is a homage to the suffragist movement that resulted in women being granted the right to vote 100 years ago, which it's really wild to think about that like we could be granted the right to vote, that it wasn't always just, you know, a freedom that we had. And even talking to like kids these days, you know, my little nieces, nephews, it's wild how that's such a crazy concept to them, that like, oh, everyone just didn't always have the right to vote. It
was only white women.
Yeah,
right. We're not talking about women. We're talking about white women.
Right, exactly. And so that
not
was
enough.
Yes, thank you. So that wasn't that long ago. 100 years ago. So this song, it's the lyrics kind of paint, you know, it's a nod to that struggle, and also to an honoring of the bravery of the, you know, freedom fighters of all of our ancestors that have, you know, really fought and gained ground as far as the fight for equality and equity and freedom. But we got a long way to go. And we're still fighting, and just now more than ever, I feel like it's, you know, imperative to unite and to exercise this hard-fought freedom to vote. So that's really the message for me as lyrically on this song, and also just honoring the power of women as creators, innovators, protectors, and it's just like really a call for unity.
Yeah. While you're listening to this, nobody's heard this yet. This wasn't one of the singles that dropped. So this is a premiere of this. It's going to be streaming everywhere tomorrow, but nobody's heard it. So let us know what you think of it. And one of my favorite things about this song, and this is a huge thing that I learned working with Lady Fingers, is like I would be all up in my head about like form and structure, and she just blasted this thing wide open. And it does not take on your standard form and structure, but it is a magical journey. So as we listen to this, I'll just invite everybody to just like sit back and let it like take you where it does.
Yeah.
Fought for the right in the face of danger. Hunger strike, not ladylike. Locked up, trumped up on misbehavior. We take it for granted, but nothing was handed. A century passed, amendment and act. To this day, fight
opportunity to redirect. Feedback on loop, accept, go harder. Band together, work smarter. Fans to the front, we don't owe you shit. Pussy riot, no, we not gon' quit. Step 1, step 2, making critical moves. Kitty pack, mount up, we got work to do. We got work to do.
Reach out now, take the hands. March on out, take a stand. We will not be silent. We will scream and yell out loud.
Yeah, like boom, got rhyme in the tone. In case you don't know, pussy is home. Ross, realist, originator. Under attack by the violators. Still embrace the haters. Killing with love, we stand creators. Look it up, science, radical self-reliance. In the time of deniers, I was born by the pussy and you would too. It's a fact, wanna fight, you automatically lose. Like boom, the big bang, the sound from where you came.
Reach out now, take the hands. March on out, take a stand. We will not be silent. We will scream and yell out loud.
Women are creators, protectors, innovators. Sowing the seeds of legacy, descent of antiquity. Ley lines connect ancestry. Holding strong, no backsliding. Feminine divine through space and time. Blood we spill like holy wine. Say women are creators, protectors, innovators. Sowing the seeds of legacy, descent of antiquity. Ley lines connect ancestry. Holding strong, no backsliding. Feminine divine through space and time. Blood we spill like holy wine.
Welcome back. Jazz Mafia, say something, do something, listening party extravaganza. There's not going to be a live album performance of this one anytime soon, so this is how we're doing it. It's been really fun getting all these different folks who have collaborated on this record. Over 100 people actually are involved in this record performing, and we have another incredibly talented performer right now, Tim Brown. How are you doing, Tim?
Hey, I'm good. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
For sure. So you've worked with Jazz Mafia for a decade, I would say, and maybe even longer. And this is the first time we've put one down as you're the featured vocalist, front person, lead writer on a song, right?
Yeah, this is. And it's been a blast. We've been trying to do it, and I'm glad that it worked out this time for us to actually get it done.
Yes, another pandemic thank you in some ways.
Yeah.
So
we started this. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, talk about a little how it started.
Yeah, so you sent me the bass track for this, I want to say in 2017. And at the time, I think it was like the protests that were happening for Ferguson. And you heard something that sounded like, you heard all these choppers that were like happening in the downtown area or something. And so that inspired kind of like this military thrumping beat that you heard. And you was like, oh, take a listen to this and see what you hear. And so I was like, oh, I like the idea of the protests and everything that was happening around that time. So let's center it around that. And so that was kind of how the basis of it started. And we put it down. Then I think we picked it back up again in 2018. And then we picked it back up again, like more recently. And that's when we kind of like tailored it around to what it became.
Yeah. I was just remembering, I was thinking about troops marching, like that kind of stupid, like when the riot cops are doing their like in step kind of thing.
Right.
It has that. It's like a trope, I guess, that I tapped into. And I think the way that you made the song, like the music by itself is pretty cold and like not very soulful actually, but
Yeah.
you made it super soulful over the top, and the background vocal arrangement that did Trance do it separate?
Yeah, Trance did that separately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, what you guys did really lit it up, and I love that juxtaposition. You know, I love soul music. I love it when the music sounds all funky and makes you
Yeah.
involved. But it's something special too when the music juxtaposes it in that way, and it kind of lets you shine in a different way. It's like, wow, he can sound that soulful over this really, square kind of darker beat or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, once I got into the motion of like the military style that you were going for, it was kind of easy for lyrically and melodically to be like, okay, so it needs to be the melody needs to be that as well.
Yeah.
Kind of stay in the tune of like that marching style.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was a fun song to work on.
Right on, man. Well, and then the video for Frontlines is a whole nother victory because we're talking about a lot of things that, we didn't have timelines for all these songs, and then all of a sudden we did, and by the time the timeline was there and we're trying to get it mixed, we're thinking we should make a video for this. And
Yes.
this was one of those ones that like we were either out of money or everyone we were working with was busy.
Yeah.
And you and Shayna made it happen. So I thought it'd be really cool just to have you speak to that for a sec, because it's a really powerful video that y'all put together.
Yeah, me and Shayna started throwing around ideas of what we wanted the video to look like based on the message of the song. And I think we were both in agreement that we wanted to use like still images of different types of protests and marches and things that have happened not only currently, but like through the years. And we kind of wanted to highlight that thing as well as like the lives that were lost, the Black lives that were lost during a lot of these unfortunate circumstances. And Shayna actually was like killing it on this. Like we were just a great pair.
It was really fun. I mean, I think we shopped it around a little bit and nobody could take it on in the timeline that we needed. And I don't edit video, but Final Cut gave out like a free version at the beginning of the pandemic and I figured out how to use it. But it was like, I think we just both like sat in our rooms for 2 days and it was like, I'd have like him on the phone and my computer in front of me and we'd just be bouncing edits back and forth. And it was a really fun way to collaborate on something and just dive in, not like sleep or eat or drink or whatever, and just see through to the end. And it's really like I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like everybody should know Tim Brown is an incredible actor, and he is not acting in this video. It's so from the heart that like I was like tearing for 2 days working on this thing too. It's you did incredible work, Tim, and it was so I feel so honored to get to have a tiny little piece of helping your vision come to fruition.
Oh, thank you. You killed it when you said, I think I could do it. And then you came back with that first edit. And I was like, you think you could do it? Like you slayed it. It was phenomenal. And then we were just bouncing back and forth and we got it done pretty quickly.
It was fast.
So yeah.
I mean, when we have time.
It was a little similar to what Rico and Ethan were talking about when it's that fire, when it's just like, the second you get, you're opening the track and you're doing it and you're sending it back right away. There's nothing like that when things are just moving on at that speed. It's like a train, it just can't be stopped.
Yeah.
It's like you hit a roadblock and it's like we're just working where it doesn't matter.
Right.
I think
we both were passionate. Yeah.
Go.
I was going to say we both were passionate about it. It was something that we really felt passionate about, so we wanted to get it out soon. So we were cranking it out. We were like, we got to get this out like this week, like not next week. Like this message needs to get out now. And I think it went over well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to speak to that too. I think a thread through all of the songs on this entire album was like everybody at home in their studio while the world was burning. You just came home from a protest and somebody else just got shot by police. And it's like, what are we going to do with these feelings inside of us? And having something to channel it through. And, all of these songs that I worked on were I saved thousands of dollars in therapy. Like this stuff was like kept me okay. And I
Yeah.
remember what was happening while we were making this video, Tim, and I remember like I sat in my backyard and like I'll just never forget that feeling of just like putting all this energy of the world burning into this piece. So I did want to say that we paired this one with really, really important issue here in America, and it's become a much more important issue as of recent with this administration, but it's public education. And W. Kamau Bell has a wonderful short video about public education in America and why it is the way that it is. And if you, on a side note, if you have not listened yet to Nice White Parents, the podcast, it kind of ties into this whole conversation. It's also pretty enlightening if you don't already know what's going on. And the organization that we highlighted was Donors Choose. And they have a really rad program where you can link up directly with classrooms. If you have some funds to give, they will hook you right up with a classroom and a teacher that need it. And there's a lot of need in this country. So, yeah, should we roll the video?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Monty Draper, who lays
Yes.
down a
Yes.
killer verse on this. Another just effortless just Monty makes a magic happen. Doesn't take a lot of discussion. So he fit right into this one and has been a part of what we've been doing since quite a bit. And Chris Fletcher for the mix on this one as well. Lit it up. So yeah, we'll roll it. Car Wash, take it away. Here is Frontlines, Tim Brown, Monty Draper, Jazz Mafia.
Heard the throbbing and the humming of the helicopter coming. Must be something I'm becoming. My perception's obstructed. Last time I heard it was the verdict that was blurted on the circuit when our justice was deserted and the city erupted. To be honest, I'm afraid of what lies around the bend. Is it danger? Is it trouble again? I can't take another breach of freedom against a friend. My people, or can let the babies on the front line.
I'll be standing on the front line, on the front line, yeah.
Is this a sign of the time?
Are you gonna hear the sign of the times?
So many cases, different faces where my race is being chased. We can't eradicate the pace if the intention is power. If you're a hero, it don't matter. They won't see you through the chatter, but the melanin will shatter at the hands of a coward. To be honest, I'm afraid of what lies around the bend. Is it anger or a riot again? I can't take another plea of peace. Can be against my kin, my brother. Will it end? Let the babies on the front line.
I'll be standing on the front line, on the front line, yeah. Are you gonna hear the sign of the time?
Righteous disciple here disguised as assassin. Boxed in the cubicle, pray over the casket. Another wonder of the world versus coming attraction. Burst the bubble in the bracket, not an underdog or your Cinderella, damn it. Just what work can do, move from what's not serving you. That's propaganda too, they just brought the news to distort your view. Howl at the moon, say grace, but ain't no time to chew. Make yourself at home right inside the zoo. For your entertainment, your peace of mind and escapement. Stimulate your fear and undercut what your age is. Bulletproof messenger, I figured this was blatant. Devil's pot just needed plating, what's the occasion? Just a token for the broken that was stolen. Cross the ocean, don't you dress it up. Keep the flaws in focus. Soiled the blacktop with our blood and gave you roses. Keep the babies off the front line is all I'm proposing.
You got a voice, so use it. Don't be afraid to do it. You want the change, pursue it. We no joke, we won't. Don't turn your head, you saw it. Don't let the fear withdraw it. Come on, embrace the rockets. We no joke, we won't. They see your stance and solid. We no joke, we won't. Determination, you got it. We no joke, we won't. Your body. We no joke, we won't vote. We no joke, we won't vote. We no joke, we won't vote.
We no joke, we woke folk. We no joke, we woke folk.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Say Something, Do Something, listening party. We're here. We're playing through this entire album that comes out tomorrow. Many of the singles have been out already, but there are some new tracks on the record that you haven't heard yet. So some of those premieres, we have one more coming up in a little bit. Right now, we have a track that for me was really a special, fun experience because I haven't really done any satire music to speak of, like officially producing and releasing. And so this next song, Lady Rona Goes to School, brought to us by our friend Ross Travis, aka Antic in a Drain, was something that was really another pandemic first for me. And I was like doing sound design, trying to figure out how to I was like finding sounds of kids in playgrounds and putting them in the song, and then like all these goofy pitch shifting to get all these different effects. So thanks to Ross Travis for challenging me in that way. And then I got to challenge someone who I love to throw curveballs, and she's here with us right now. Give it up for my friend Tu Ho in the house with the butterflies. How are you doing, Tu?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Right on. So
it's been a great listening party. I've been listening since.
Oh, cool. I thought it'd be interesting to have you speak of the email or text that you got with, what was it? Did I send you a little demo of this, or did I try to explain what it was? Like, what was your first impression? Because I'd imagine that you don't do things like this every day either.
Oh yeah, no. I think the email came from Shayna, and I just thought, oh, Shayna sent me a project. I wonder if it's some type of operatic project with Cosa Nostra strings or something like that. And then it started with, you can turn this down if you want, but I just wanted to, I think you'd be great for it. I really do. And she gave me the lyrics that Ross, Antic in a Drain, had written. And I knew this was something completely different, something completely new for me to try, satire. I was a little nervous at first because I try to keep the good girl image for jazz and all of that, but sometimes you just have to get your hands dirty and you got to do what you're passionate about and what's right. And
I remember asking you for the crediting, do you want to put your real name on this? I was cool with it because I do all sorts of weird stuff, but I wouldn't have been surprised if you were like, let's just make up a name for this. But hey, you're brave, and I think at this point, just owning it and saying you're not hurting anyone, you're making fun of someone, and so it's all in just for a good laugh. But I think you handled it like a champ, and I love how you brought your jazzy aesthetic to the melody that Ross gave you. It was collaborative. It was really collaborative in that sense. So yeah, props to you for diving in on yet another challenge. Some of our friends watching, I know Mark Bazinski's out there. He's seen me run you through some crazy situations, and so he's probably not surprised. But yeah, we're gonna roll this one. The video, Ross Travis, he couldn't be here with us, obviously. But the video, he did such an amazing job on it, and you know, obviously we filmed it in different locations and all that. He put it together. But yeah, there's definitely some of the craziest filming I've ever done too. The direction was really specific. He's like, okay, you and Shayna are gonna get down on the ground and hold the camera up, and I'm gonna shrink you. So it's like, you know, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And like, that doesn't look anything like that right now. It's just, there's no way. And then when we watched the video, it's like, oh, he totally had a vision and knew exactly what he wanted. And with yours as well, right?
Yes.
He's a genius. Check out Ross's YouTube channel. Antic in a Drain, ANTIC in a Drain. It's very new. He's putting out some crazy quality, entertaining videos, and you know, it's fledgling. It's a new business, so please do go and subscribe, support him, support all the artists. It really makes a difference. So here we go with Lady Rona Goes to School, and we all know how well that went. He predicted it.
Yep, sure did.
Take it away. Thanks, Stu.
Thanks.
Go to school and see your teacher die? It's just so 45, don't have to be the fall guy. He's stressed about the dwindling economy. He's taking it out on all the nation's progeny. Feeding your parents the Lady Rona, who's gonna enjoy with some Corona. What can I say? I'm a hungry ass bitch. Hypnotized mind like a crazy ass witch. Playing his strings, so I'll do my bidding. Keeping his base always transmitting. Filling the news with crazy mutations. Rona and Trump rule the nation.
Hey, whoopity-doo, let's go back to school. Rona, Trump, and their mud device. Molecules of misrule. We'll do whatever it takes to make our boss win in November. We won't give a fuck about the death toll till December.
Lady Rona loves the drama from the throne inside your body, ordaining you to take your time finding that antibody. Protest, oppress, holiday in. You see, if you keep acting up, then Rona gonna win.
These kids can't be on a constant vacation, abused, hungry, in stagnation. Online isn't where a child's mind's aligned.
You're right, says Rona, what a bind. Too late for you, Trump set up the play, sending its team straight into the fray. Open the tattoo shops and bars, ignored the rules, refs and stars. While Rona makes the death toll soar, riding Trump like a fat ass whore. Here's how you make useful idiots fall. Elect to blow hard, full of air like a beach ball. Now Rona got you bitch asses in a checkmate. A catch-22, damned if you do or don't. Political stalemate, bitch.
Hey, whoopity-doo, let's go back to school. Lady Rona, Trump, and their Muppet scene. Molecules of misrule. We'll see how much more of this you can condone before you load in November. How bad you gonna let that death toll get by the time we get to December?
Yo, yo, yo! Special shout out to all you trolls hiding behind your screens spouting hate. Lady Rona is watching you at night as you masturbate. Angry and lonely in your dismal basement chamber, posting from your faceless account with no content. You ain't nothing but a hater. Thanks for watching. Hey, be sure to get your cooties all over that subscribe button, and let's go viral on all the social platforms. I love breeding on your money, so if you got any, send it to the link below. Hey, until next time.
If you hadn't seen that video, that was no doubt entertaining. Money back guarantee on that one, y'all. Up next is the song that is the oldest song, the song that's been being worked on for the longest out of all the songs on this here album, I think. Oh, actually, maybe not Trent's song, Mission. He said that was from the Bush era, which that's when this one came about. So maybe they're about the same. Old minute, been around as many on the shelf as long. Is what I'm trying to say. So. This one was from the Bush years, Bush Jr., and we never ended up putting it out. It's called Election Blues. It was originally an instrumental, and then I had our friend Haruka Saki record on it, and it's that album that it was a part of. It wasn't the right time to put it out, and fast forward to 2016. And it's like, oh man, I think that Election Blues song needs to come out now. And so it was not current anymore what Haruka Saki had done, and although it was really good. And so I brought in my friend Seneca, who's here joining us, and he is the one featured on this tune. How you doing, Seneca?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to be online, pushing some Jazz Mafia, some political, some powerful music. And just giving thanks, trying to get thanks every day.
You've been a big part of what we've been doing for over a decade, part of Brass Bows and Beats. One of my favorite verses of all time is one that you do on At My Window. And it's been really special. But I said in 2016, you recorded a verse. However, the song still didn't come out officially. It didn't really come out. And so we wanted to put it out now. And so around early August or something, I hit you up, I think, saying, dude, we're going to put Election Blues out. We're doing a whole election themed album. So what was your thought process at that point? Because I think it was a quick turnaround. Let me guess.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much that night or that night or the next day I started working on it. But I mean, man, it was kind of like, I think there's so much amped up energy around elections. And I think the past 4 years for a lot of folks have been wild. I mean, from 16 to right now, and then here we are in the middle of this wildness. Both versions, where there was a 2016 version that was kind of Bernie and Hillary, and us trying to get Bernie in, and it was a whole different vibe. And then I think it's been a little bit of a dark period, and then you were like, "Hey, we want to put it out." Well, I think we have to redo it. So I basically went into like, "Hey, what is my message gonna be? Is it gonna be I'm lacking hope and this is all going down? No, this is gonna be like the name of this project. Say something, do something. It's like I'm gonna bring hope. Sure, I'm gonna call Trump out. I'm gonna look at the state of affairs in America. I'm gonna look at how we got here, but then also like where we move forward, calling out the fact that all of us have a part to play. It's been crazy, but I'm not gonna wallow in the sadness. I'm going to just keep going with the positive, keep solution-based music, which I feel like is exactly what this song is and what this album is. Like solution, it's therapeutic, but it's also like a vision for what we want to see. And knowing that we're not going to have, I like it. It's called Election Blues, but I don't have election blues regardless of what happens because the fight continues for justice, for peace, for unity. Regardless of who's in the White House, we're going to keep pushing for that. So that was kind of the whole intention was like, we got to keep pushing. Got to keep our heads up, and there are the forces out there continually, trying to fight down peace, justice, love, all those things, and we have to keep our heads and keep our hearts, and that's what I was trying to put into that song.
Beautifully said, man. And that's exactly why I thought of you in 2016, because I knew that you were deep in the struggle. You were doing a lot of community engagement work back. I remember when we were at Royale, you'd always be coming in from doing some canvassing or something. And
fired up. I was fired up.
Yeah. It was like, settle down, buddy. Settle down. We're just trying to have a hip hop jam here. And you'd just be like bringing the fire.
That's my MO.
Yeah, so this is a perfect thing for you. All right, well, we're going to rock this one. This features Brass Mafia. Circa 2007 is the version of the band that this was recorded with. P-Dub on the drums, Joe Cohen on the saxophone, I think on the Barry sax, a very rare thing to see Joe play. Mike Olmos, Joel Ryan, Joel Behrman, myself on tuba, that kind of stuff. So we're going way back, and I hope that you dig this performance featuring Seneca of Election Blues. Take it away, Brian.
Misdirection, mask or no mask, class is in session. Canada gave 2K a month, we get repression. Our president's benevolent, we can't wait to get a better one. That old megaton, stealing a paraplegic's peloton. We now stand divided when Obama had us trying. Pick an issue, we got tissues and a dopamine hit. We get no justice but 65 rows of TP. We hit the panic button, Trump was golfing on TV. If money buys elections, what the fuck are we voting for? We have to. Biden's not my guy, but we have to. Not as shitty as Trump, and we know that's the sad truth. We want the pie, if they give us crumbs, we can try. Angela Davis said the vote she's seen many multiply. The future 4 years could be stuck and repeat. Press and delete, hitting the streets, that's all speak. Change a life in a week, we fight for the meek. I write like I speak, unite all beings like a night at the beach. We can't accept the status quo, take a step of relief. Changing the system, going deep. All the wolves are a sheep, awake or asleep. Snakes in the grass, we make it retreat. The love will never die while we're singing for peace. Scheming on a better country without death and disease. We are a family, make this planet better for bees. All souls deserve love and to conquer their goals. Friends are your foes, compose pros, exposing your woes. No need to reload, take it slow and go with the flow. Nobody planned for pandemic, so I'm letting you know. This election could be the last stand, hate/blow. From Zimbabwe to Glasgow, we need fair elections, and that's so. Bringing your back like lasso, flames still fly, freedom still run. Old and young, heroes unsung, tracing where we come from.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are on the final song of the Say Something, Do Something album that comes out tomorrow. And this last track is a super special one because it features Jazz Mafia Choral Syndicate. This was a magical little recording that we did, tagged on to a very long couple days of recording over last summer, or two summers back, not this summer, but summer before pandemic. And the Choral Syndicate is a group that came about because of our lead collaborator, producer, Trance Thompson, who is here. And so I'm going to turn it over to Trance for a second and let him tell you about his story of how this one came together. A lot of magic happened with this.
Well, thanks. Well, interestingly, you've been talking about how old some of the other songs are in the Jazz Mafia incubator. This song, however, probably has the shortest story between creation and videotaping and recording.
Yeah.
So, like, we were in rehearsals last summer for a concert with the choir, which was amazing. If you've never seen Jazz Mafia's Choral Syndicate, you have to check it out. We have some of our all-stars here. We have Glenda and Bri-Fi, and who else is in the choir?
Jamie and Alice.
Jamie and Alice. Oh, I can't see it on the screen. And so we were having rehearsal for that, and we had picked this song by Kirk Franklin, Brighter Day, for the concert, but we had never sung it before. The band had never played it before. And so it was the last thing we rehearsed that night. We had 40 minutes, I think, to learn the song. And then you were like, hey, we need to record the choir's Glory. And you're like, well, why don't we do this Brighter Day song too that we've never performed or even heard of before an hour ago. So the choir marched from the rehearsal room to the videotaping room, some people with papers in hand, and literally within an hour of learning the song, we recorded it and videotaped it and sent it off to Fletch to mix.
Yeah, Fletch is in the house right now. Fletch actually mixed a number of songs that are on this album, as well as some of the other current Jazz Mafia releases. How you doing, Fletch?
Feeling great, man. How are you?
Dang, that mic is just too good for a little Zoom, man. You gotta make us all sound bad.
I mean, it's my job.
Yeah. Any specific thoughts on this one from you, Fletch? Since you've been a part of this project, like, we send you all this wild stuff. It's challenging, right? A lot of it's recorded all in one room. This one was tricky, right?
I don't feel like it was any trickier than any other ones, honestly.
But you've got a gospel choir and a gospel style choir, and you've got a loud ass drums, loud ass horns right there. That's not easy, even for you.
I remember. The one thing I remember about that was, okay, it's not fair because I do have a background doing a lot of gospel stuff, mixing at church every weekend. But I remember Trance and I kind of were going back and forth about the vocals a little bit because the balance was a little tricky, and we just kind of had to figure out all the different parts and get that balanced and panned properly and get it all tuned up for this one. There's a little bit of background magic that happened there between us. Well, Prince is a genius, so.
No,
yeah.
And bossy.
and this idea of putting this on an election themed album, like a 2020, what the hell we've been going through, this is what we did in 2020 to survive kind of theme, might seem odd, but I think it was Shayna's idea, like most of the good ideas that come out of this compound. And the whole trip is, look, we're going on a journey on this album, and it's a journey that tells a lot of stories. Some of them are heart-wrenching, and some of them show you a glimpse. Like Tunnel Vision is a complicated song that has a lot of positivity to it, but it's also talking about some real stuff. And so it's kind of like these two songs are bookending it, but we thought we should end this with something that's really inspiring. And Brighter Day wasn't going to come out on any album or anything, and so it just seemed to fit. And the Choral Syndicate, it's just such a fun group. So we thought it would be, as this is a Jazz Mafia album, we're trying to feature as many people as we can, practically. So this just fit in that sense as well, to represent the whole crew.
So Glenda, what would, after this album comes out, what would a brighter day look like? You have 20 seconds.
Gosh, a brighter day. There are so many things that need fixing. I think it's hard to summarize it in one term, but a government rehaul so that everyone is actually equal and not just equal in wording or in theater, but actual legislation to ensure that everyone has equal rights and equitable access to education and healthcare and, you know, life, love, and the pursuit of happiness.
Tell 'em, girl.
Yes.
And what
Yes.
about you, Wi-Fi? What's a brighter day look like to you after this is over? Well, we got to unmute you. Start over.
I would say that, say hello to Nala.
Hello, Nala.
I would say that this whole thing is one gigantic command option escape, force quit. That's what we're looking at. Restart.
Restart. All right. Jamie and Alice?
Oh gosh, I would say it's so good to see you all, and I'm so proud to be a part of this. I would say brighter day would be stop the killing. Stop the killing, not to get deep and heavy at the moment, but just stop with the guns, get some control going on here, and everything that Glenda said. And yeah, James.
Yeah, I think as dark as it is, we've got a lot to be hopeful for. And I echo everything that Glenda and Bri-Fi and Alice said. And, you know, Tuesday's a big day. It's not election day. It's the last day you can vote. So get out there. You got an extra hour on Saturday night, so you got no excuses.
Yeah.
I would say, Adam, to kind of sum up my participation in this record, as a whole, and the choir is a good representation of this. We are different people, different backgrounds, different races, different sexualities, different religious upbringings, and we are united in harmony and in music to make change, to be a positive force for good in the world. I think that's what's awesome about not only Choral Syndicate, but this whole album in general. It's just full of positive, progressive people who just want to make things better. We're not. It's not about hating Trump or hating Trump supporters. It's about lifting up all people so that we all feel like we have equal opportunity. We may not have equal success, but we at least all have the equal chance to be successful. That's all we want.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
Amen.
Also, just, you know, like, I feel like we have no idea how much we've learned these last 4 years, and especially in 2020. We're going to look back on 2020 and gain so much hindsight. See what I did there? And I just hope that we can take it. I hope we can take it into the future and not just go back to whatever we called normal before the pandemic, because there's so much we can change and take from all of this. And I'm so inspired by everything that Jazz Mafia is doing to bring people together in this time of separation. So thank you all for this.
It's been such a special time for us, because it was kind of like jumping off of a cliff a little bit, with a lot of what we're doing, not a lot of a blueprint, and it was just like, it's okay, we're just gonna run with this. And it feels a lot more local to me. You know, if you think about like, the internet, you can access people everywhere, but they're kind of just like these little clicks and likes. And I mean, I'd love to have more of those, but there's been a return to really like a one-on-one discourse, maybe not in person as much, but a lot of people have been reaching out to us and having some really heartfelt stories, or just to say, hey, I really want to let you guys know how much what you've been doing this year means to me, beyond just like the music. It's about the statements and about all these lyrics that people like Rico Pabon are coming up with. That, I mean, it's what Shayna said too. It's therapeutic. It's soothing. It's saving us from a lot of things that we maybe otherwise would have had to deal with. So I want to thank everybody who's involved in this record, all the engineers, mixing, mastering. There's just so many things behind the scenes. And once again, I want to thank the Chavez Foundation and Tom Chavez, who's been just a lifesaver to Jazz Mafia for over 10 years now. And to Coco for being such a huge part of us being able to partner with all these organizations and for helping us. It's a really, really special thing to put basically all of Jazz Mafia's resources into this one album. We haven't done anything on this scale in 10 years. So it's been reinvigorating for me, and especially thanks to Trance, our main co-producer on this project. It's been incredible to see what we've been able to put together for this. Shayna, what am I forgetting?
I just popped back on because I realized we're going to let them go away with the music. So this is my last opportunity to thank folks. I kind of worked on the action campaign alongside the music for this. And so I just wanted to give a really heartfelt thank you to all the people that said yes to me, who's just this funny musician from the Bay Area. It helped that I had Colleen Courtney by my side. Could not have done any of this without you. And thank you for holding my hand and wiping my tears virtually. But I want to say thank you to W. Kamau Bell. Huge thank you to you and your whole team, Bruno and everybody over there. Thank you for making these videos, and thanks for handing them to us so that we could sort of amplify them. They're so powerful. Y'all go check them out if you haven't. It'll be like 25 minutes out of your life and you'll get to watch all of them. And they're hilarious too.
Yeah.
They really draw you in. He's so funny. But they're just little gems. And I wanted to thank Jacob Kornbluth, who is the director of those films and was one of the people that said yes to us. Also, Elena Chavez, who executive produced that series and just opened all the doors for us and helped us get connected to everybody. Tom Chavez and the entire Chavez Family Foundation, thank you. Thank you so much. All of these hundreds of people that have been involved in this project, it's all because of y'all. And then finally, I just wanted to thank all of our collaborators. I probably wouldn't have been a happy human had I not had this project to work on. It's really been very powerful, and it's helped me feel like connected to all of y'all flamethrowers, as Sola T would say, all of you fire makers in this world in this really challenging time. And I'm so grateful to know all of you, and to all the people that listen and pay attention. Thank you.
Hell yes. I've been forgetting to mention that this album will be on Bandcamp in its entirety tomorrow, and that is the best way to support the artist directly. Of course, we are playing the Spotify game, so if you can do both and go and add us and follow us on Spotify and all that, do it. But you can download the album off Bandcamp, and that is a great way to support all the artists. We love you all. Here is Brighter Day, and we're going to take it out.